Hello everyone. I would like to present our research entitled Introducing the Eastern Archipelago, the Early Guidebook of Eastern Indonesia. My name is Ahmad Sunjayadi. I'm from Department of History, Faculty of Humanities, Universitas Indonesia. And I conduct this research with my colleague Fajar Nugraha from Department of Area Studies. Recently, the Indonesian government promotes Eastern Indonesia as the alternative of tourist destinations. Nowadays, the Indonesian government intensifies efforts in developing the eastern part of Indonesia as the tourist destinations. As we know that eastern part of Indonesia has tremendous potential to become tourist destinations. The Indonesian government has also declared that tourism is one of the country's main sectors to develop and expects to garner 20 billion US dollar in foreign exchange revenue in 2019. To achieve this goal, it eyes 15 million foreign tourists in 2017 and 20 million in 2018. This requires serious effort and gets support from various parties related to tourism activities, especially in Eastern Indonesia. The questions that arise is when the effort to develop tourism in Eastern Indonesia began, and which parts of Eastern Indonesia that introduced as a tourist destination at the time. This research uses historical methods consisting of heuristic, criticism, interpretations, and historiography. Besides historical methods, this study uses a geographical approach. The methods developed by geography here are used to analyze the history of tourism activity in Eastern Indonesia. As stated by Demay in 2014, that geographers have a special approach to tourism. And the colonial context highlights the spatial impact defined by studying the impact of tourism on a given area. Geographic analysis helps us to understand the mechanisms for implementing and structuring a colonial territory. In the study, Eastern Indonesia in the colonial period since as a colonial territory. It is also used the concept of tourism places, space, and change by Shaw and Williams in 2004. As stated by Shaw and Williams, the process of communications and tourism start therefore not with the arrival of tourists and their cultures, but rather with the way in which destinations are represented through the marketing system such as guidebooks, travel brochures. The primary sources used in this research are Charles Guidebooks, Reisgids voor Nederlandsch Indië. It's published in 1896. This is a Dutch guidebook and later translated in English with the title Guide to the Dutch East Indies, published in 1897. It's published by KPM, Koninklijke Paketvaart Maatschappij, that is the Dutch shipping company. We also use travelogues of 19th century to compare especially the area that's solved in the guidebooks. The core area of the Dutch colony consisted of Java and Maluku, and outside the area it called Buitenbesittingen. It means outside the possessions, and later it called Buitengewesten. It means outside the region. At the time, the Eastern Indonesia area belongs to this area. And the area of the Eastern Indonesia, which visited by the travelers of the 19th century, were the lesser Sunda Islands, such as Bali, Lombok, Kupang, Timor, and Dili, the Celebes or Sulawesi, such as Makassar, Gorontalo, Tondano, and Manado, and the Moluccas, such as Ternate, Bacan, Buru, and Amboina. This area will belong to the Dutch government and almost totally occupied. If we compare with the guidebooks, the Reisgids and the Guide to the Dutch East Indies, we can find that the area they introduced were Celebes or Sulawesi, south central of north, and the Moluccas such as Ternate, Tidore, Bacan, Buru, Ambon, and Banda. And by using the concept of tourism places, space, and change by Shaw and Williams, that the process of communications of tourism begin through the marketing systems such as Guidebook, we can see that The area of Eastern Indonesia, which introduced by guidebooks at the end of the 19th century as tourist destination, were Celebes and the Moluccas. As conclusion, the beginning of tourism activity in Eastern Indonesia has existed since the end of the 19th century, although when it has not been regulated. The Eastern Indonesia tourism introduced in Dutch Guidebook, Reisgids voor Nederlandsch Indië, published in 1896 and later translated in English, entitled A Guide to the Dutch East Indies, published in 1897. And tourism activity in Eastern Indonesia has become a concern of the Dutch East Indies government. However, its development is constrained by infrastructure and accommodation facilities, the problems also faced by the Indonesian government today. Thank you for your attention.